When I searched all over YouTube, I couldn't find a tutorial for it. How to sound design the DJ Spinz 808. You might know it as the Dababy 808. You might not even know the name, but you know Dababy uses it all the time, and Polo G uses it all the time. This is the 808 I'm talking about. That's with the kick, and this is without the kick, the one that wobbles. You probably have the 808 sample, but then you don't know how to sound design it. And the reason why you might want to sound design it is because the samples might be diminished. You'll have more control over it if you use sound design to get it. You can tweak it and make it unique to your own taste. And you know, you're just cooler sound designing your own 808 yourself. So for the first sound, you just want to go to new sound here. I want to assume you know up to an extent what attack level, which is sustain here, decay, and release does. But if you don't, I will encourage you to Google it. And you can also do as I do. You will definitely learn one or two things it does. This envelope 4 controls the master amplitude of the whole sound. And here, everything else, oscillator 2, 3, modulation, noise, all this, we're not going to be using for this tutorial. We're only going to be focusing on oscillator 1. Filter, we're not going to be using. What we need to do is select sine wave, because sine wave is always most of the time is the sound for the 808s. And once we select sine wave, we go on to the voicing tab to keep massive on monophone, and we go on to the oscillator tab to keep massive on restart gate. The monophone will ensure that anytime we play a note, it will always put out a single sound. Since it's 808s we're dealing with, we only need the single sound. Then the restart gate is going to ensure that the shape of the sound that we're creating with the LFO or with the envelope will always start from the beginning. The sweet spot for our notes, we're going to be playing on G2. So just play on the second octave of your FL Studio or whatever DAW you're using. Now, once we have that, we have our notes playing with the sound sine wave. The next thing is to go on to control the oscillator 4. We're using this level of sustain because we don't want it to be the same sound with the attack. We just want it to punch up to an extent. You know, this is the one with the kick. And if I turn it down to the bottom, it's going to be very short. And I don't want to have that kind of short sound. I want to be able to control the length here. This is where I like to leave my sustain. So if I play it, you're going to hear this. Now, I like to have my release to be a bit long, because if I make it too short, you hear a click. And if I make it too long, it will overlap the note sound and to make my mix bad. Let me reduce this decay, give it a bit more attack. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me hear it again. For the envelope 1, this is what I'm going to be using to control the kick of the sound. I'll pitch it up about 2 octaves to give it more prominent attack. And when I hear it, I'm going to hear. First of all, that sound that is making it sound like it's off tune is the decay here. So when I drop here, I think it's going to be enough. Now I want the attack to be really high on this, and I don't want it sustained because I just want it presence to hit on attack. Now I want it to duck behind the 808 itself. This is why I'm using the smaller level, and obviously turn up the release again to reduce the clickiness. And we have. Turn up this knob a little bit. You hear that it's a bit more like it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use this envelope to control this knob so that it will follow the shape of this thing we just designed here, and it will like follow it in this range, give it more character. And we have. Now the last source is that this 808 is very loud, so I like to put on classic tube here to give it more distortion, and then turn the level up. You might want to turn down your headphone before I run it back. Now, if you don't want it to be that distorted, you can always turn down the drive and do some, like maybe turn this down a bit, and you can always play. using our reference, which is like Pop Smoke featuring Lil Baby and Dababy, for the night. I think that's the title of the song. This is a bit more like how the kick 808 sounded. If you want, you can always add more character to yours by giving it more drive or reducing the drive. Let me just show you what I mean. And this, you can make it cleaner, more sine wave by just turning down this knob. But I like this. And then if you want it to be less punchy, you can do this. But I like that. So you can always tweak it how you like. And this is where I'm going to be using for the first settings of the 808. Now the next 808 is the one that wobbles without the kick. So I split this video into two because I know that most of my audience don't watch my video 100%. So I'll be dropping a link to the second part of the video where I made the second 808 in the description below. If you also want to download the massive preset that I made here, you can check the description link below. Drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more of these. Yeah, I need me a bit with the bop in it. Come on, ladies, singles no doubling me. I rap to my beat in the gucking it. Niggas wanna try, but they flopping it. They aiming at me, I be ducking it. She falling in love suddenly. The money be pouring suddenly. You get in the club, she be rocking me. My life too easy, don't hurry me. If the sky's the limit, I'm orbiting. Whoa, yeah, I don't really slow down. If you don't know, you know now. I just wanna get my goal. She's a gold digger, but I'm a bad nigga. I don't put a trigger on my moves, so legal. Whoa, got my own swag, and you know. Whoa, I do my own thing like it's so easy. Please free me if you need this big, get it, cause this bit is crazy heavy.